Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Halo Idiots. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the fifth and final part of Halo Fleet Battles, the end phase. Congratulations, you've made it. Insert one of those yeses here.
Yes! Yes!
But, well, I guess technically this isn't the last episode. There will be another full game to help you guys more understand how a full game's played. But if you don't watch the episode, I guess technically it doesn't exist. But enough with the memes, actually get into this. So, the first step in the end phase is the repairs step. So, if any ships have countdown tokens, that's what you have to deal with first. And for each countdown token, you have to roll a Halo die. For each success or exploding success, you remove a countdown token. But for each miss or, of course, failure, you gain a countdown token. If there is an enemy boarding craft present still on your ship base, and you roll a failure, you gain 2 countdown tokens. So let's do an example here. There's 2 countdown tokens on this CCS, so it would have to roll to repair them. It repaired 1 and it gained 1, so nothing happened. Now let's do it if there were another example. If there were 3 and a boarding craft, it repairs 1 but gains 2, so now it will be up to 4. Okay, that's the first step of the repairs phase. The second step is to repair vulnerable tokens. On a miss or a failure, nothing happens. On a success, you can repair 1 vulnerable token. On a exploding success, you can repair 2 vulnerable tokens. However, you only roll 1 Halo die, so if you have 3 or more vulnerable tokens, you're not going to be able to repair them all. So in this case, the CCS managed to repair 1 vulnerable token. After you repair your vulnerable tokens, you move on to carrier actions. So if a ship has a carrier action, such as the CCS or the Epoch, you can deploy up to that many wings. So the CCS is a carrier action of 1, so it can deploy 1 flight token, and the Epoch has a carrier action of 3, so it can deploy up to 3 flight tokens, but I'm only going to deploy 2. But there are specific rules with it. They have to be deployed within 8 inches of any edge of the formation base. But they have to be formed into a legal wing. So, technically the CCS cruiser could not deploy this unless there was another wing or flight token next to it so that it can be formed into a legal wing. For the Epoch, it's not a problem because you can deploy up to 3, and as long as you deploy either 2 or 3 together, that counts as a legal wing. And there's a secondary rule that these deployed ships have to be from the faction's scrapyard. So you can only deploy flight tokens if they have already been destroyed. If you go around without losing a single flight token, like in the first point of the game, you can't deploy more wings because none of your wings have died. So they have to be dead wings from the game. The next few steps go into calculating victory points. I'm not a big victory points player, but if you're going for shortened games and not complete annihilation of your enemy like I like to play, then check your zone control areas. Check how many victory points you've gained by destroying your opponent's ships. And if you're running a scenario, you might want to check those out as well. But that's all I'm going to talk about under that. And check your winning conditions to see if you have won with your victory points, of course. After your points have been calculated, you move on to drift tokens with the heroic save loadout. So in the case of the Pelican or the T-28, you'd have to roll a halo die, and on any result other than an exploding success, they would be destroyed. So what you're hoping for is an exploding success. That's the only thing that will save one of them. A zealot can be saved on a success or an exploding success. So as long as you don't roll a miss or a failure, you're okay with a zealot. And a Spartan is saved on everything but a failure. So you have a 1 out of 6 chance for these guys, a half chance for this guy, and a 5 out of 6 to save a Spartan. So you just move to all your drift tokens and then roll. If they successfully survive, you can move them within 6 inches to a formation base, and if they touch it, they can get on the ship. However, just like the rules with an assault extraction, if the ship is already full of boarding craft, you would have to replace one of them. I forgot to mention, if there is no friendly element to go to, you just move your token within 6 inches in whatever direction you so choose. And next end phase, you'll have to attempt a heroic save to save the token again. The last step is to tidy up the battlefield and remove tokens that don't need to be there. Just fix up the field if your die are in like bad positions, get them all together so that you can prepare for the next turn. And for you to choose which die you'd like to keep on your commander. Say you like command icons, you can keep the 2 command icons to help you in the next turn. Or you could just take all your die and roll them again for next turn. That's the last step in Halo Fleet Battles. And then we go back to the first phase again and go through the 5 phases all over again. I hope you guys learned something from these tutorials. I know there was a lot of information jam-packed into a lot of stuff. If you want to read some of the rulebook to help you out or ask me a question in any of the comment sections, I'll try to answer it to the best of my abilities. And sometime in the future, I don't know exactly when it's going to be, I will upload a video of me playing a full game with someone else to try and show some things that I may have missed. Like, for example, when a large ship is destroyed, you have to roll a halo die, and on an exploding success, it has a mini critical core breach of only 4 inches. Like, that's something I forgot to mention. Or if all your ships are shooting the back, the chances of a vulnerable increase, and you can also get it on just a normal success. Same with the explosion from a large ship. If you're shooting all the ships in the back, it also goes from an exploding success to also the successes will make it have a mini critical core breach. Like, that's some of the stuff that I missed. So if there's anything else that I missed and you need clarification on, please leave it in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the full game.